Hey, I always wanted to see Ireland.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. What would be at the top of my list would be having dinner with Austin Peterson, Ron Paul, and Julie Borowski.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I always kind of wanted to build the first ever fondue fountain on Mars. Oh, if you're wondering what we're doing here, we're both just kind of going over our bucket list because we're about to say a whole lot of bad stuff about Hillary Clinton, and I just want you guys to know we're really loving doing this Matube thing, and we both got excellent chicks.
Oh yeah.
So we're very happy dudes, and there's no chance at all of us killing ourselves.
I want to live. I want to live.
However, if I just happen to be found one day wearing a snorkel, covered in glitter, and crushed under a giant cheese wheel, that was an accident. Just take solace in the fact that I died doing what I loved. Ain't that right, Puddin'? Steve? Did you turn the camera on?
No, that was not me.
Wasn't me.
She knows.
She's watching.
We need to distract her. Do something quick.
Quick, Hillary, look at these. Look at these. The keys, the keys, the keys.
Okay. I think she's distracted. That'll give us a little bit of time. So we can do our video.
Okay. And while she's distracted, we're going to lead right in from the start with a special guest comment question / awesomeness by Kristin Hawthorne.
Yes, we're going to switch it up on you guys a little bit. It's not going to be at the end. There will be a question at the end, but not. There's also going to be a guest at the beginning.
So take it away, Sovereign Queen of the Galaxy.
That's not going to work. It's a YouTube clip because we couldn't embed it because we're not that smart. Sorry, we're new. We're trying. So click the link down here, and
you won't regret it.
And we will wait for you. No problem. You guys just come back whenever you're done watching the video, and we'll be here waiting. So go watch it. Okay, so I'm gonna do some reading while we're waiting for him.
Okay,
so you can do whatever you want to do.
do some creative writing.
All right. Where was I? I think I was in Deuteronomy, maybe? Is that where I was at?
All right, nailed it.
What are you writing?
Poetry.
Oh yeah?
And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, will ever dissever my cheddary bond with the Wonder Spud, Jessica B.
More Timo Groton. Okay.
That's the whole point of this whole thing, really. I mean, LP is cool too.
Oh. So as you guys can guess, we're discussing Clinton. If you watch the link, you'll know what we're going to talk about a little bit. If you didn't, then you'll hopefully understand what we're talking about.
Why do you say stand down when an embassy is under attack?
She said to say stand
She's
down?
never given an explanation as to why that happened and why she lied about it. It's just an impromptu riot thing. In fact, it was not. It was a planned attack, unless impromptu riots come with missile launchers.
I think her being extremely glib over the lives of the men that died there is pretty sad to see from someone in such a high position.
It is mostly the after the fact thing that bothered me, because why is there not at least some kind of phony baloney bullshit explanation given? They're giving us nothing, and they're expecting us to let it slide. No.
And I think, in all honesty, I think she's a real good example of always sticking with the party and how the party kind of always stuck with her, like with the rigging of the election for her nomination.
I was never a huge Bernie fan, but that dude got screwed so hard.
Of course, you know, there's also her flip-flopping from issue to issue, and how she, I think, like Chris said, she'll do anything to get elected, it seems like, or say anything to get elected.
Spot on, Kristen.
Very spot on.
And on to the email.
Of course, the whole scandal with the what happened? Oh,
Didn't she just...
I had a concussion and I forgot.
I knew you got the worst of that headbutt.
That's true, I did.
Dude, when did you get that tie?
Recently.
Why?
Because I want to look nice if I die. How do you not know when you were in government for so long? You know, she was the fake wife of the president for 8 years. She was a terrible senator for a very long time. And she was Secretary of State. How do you not know that in a classified email, when you're getting emails, that the C stands for classified?
She knew.
Well,
Everyone
yeah.
knows she knew.
Either that or she needs to go back to Sesame Street. So why do you think the FBI didn't want to prosecute her? Do you think it was influence? Do you think he was influenced to not prosecute, or do you think it
Or
was something
maybe
else?
she has something on them too.
What, she got like a Hoover list, kind of like how Hoover had something on everybody?
That's the only thing I think it could be. She's got so much on so many, it's like mutually assured destruction if anyone moves on her. And going back to one of Kristen's points, even if she, before she had any kind of national office, she was privy to all kinds of possible secrets and has the goods on probably hundreds of people.
I'd like to bring in her health issues into this. Apparently she had a concussion while she was Secretary of State, I believe. And that is why she forgot the email and forgot the whole last 5 years, I think she said, of her time as Secretary of State. That seems kind of... I always did think, even before I knew any of this information, I did think it was a little odd that she stepped down when she did. Is it a scarier thought to you that she did forget, or that she is lying that she forgot? Which is kind of scary.
If it's true that she really can't remember things that were that big of a deal and were that recent, that would be scarier.
Can you vote for somebody that doesn't remember a good portion of their public life, their job? Of course, we have to discuss the Clinton Foundation, or as I like to call it, the money grubbing, not sure what they're doing, shadiness. They're apparently, when she was Secretary of State, the only way to get a meeting with her was to donate to her foundation. So, I mean, you have to think about, is she herself bought and paid for?
Yeah, she's done a lot of rhetorical work of aligning herself up with the people, the working poor, and all that kind of thing. But you look at her donations and her speaking engagements, it's like bank after bank after bank after bank.
There's really no difference in her as opposed to the last few presidents we've had. She's just another one percenter who's thinks she knows what's good for the middle class and the lower class, and she has no idea. If you don't live this life that we live, you don't know what's good for...
When I see her speaking in front of a bedsheet backdrop, that's when I'll believe she knows the struggle. And I definitely, before, we are done talking here, wanted to also bring up something else that Kristin mentioned in her video. Well, first, That tiara was on point. Gorgeous.
Yeah, it was nice. Very fitting of a queen.
Definitely you. Secondly, I wanted to say thanks for mentioning Gary Johnson. We are definitely going to be doing a video all about him.
Yep.
Probably sometime in the next month or so. And
Closer to the debates, I think.
Yeah. And
so stay tuned for that, folks.
Yeah.
It'll be a big one.
Soon, all of YouTube will bear witness to Emma Johnson.
All right, everyone, that was our episode. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share the video, like it, share it on Facebook and the Twitters and the Insta whatevers.
Yep, and don't forget to like Rock County Libertarian Party on Facebook, and fourth Friday of every month, 7 o'clock, Janesville Denny's. If you want to come and see me putting away copious amounts of cheesy mashed potatoes and talking politics, come on down. Glad to have you.
All right. Good night, everyone.
See ya.
All right, everyone. So, my question of the week is...
It's that time again, and this question is coming from one half of the founding members of Team Rock Rotten, the aforementioned Jessica B., as in Baird, the Baroness of Starch. Lay it on us.
Hey, I want to know what you guys think about an issue. I think it's pretty old, but I do think that it's really relevant to what we would do as libertarians if we're in charge. So I think 6 states now have banned foreign policy from being considered in U.S. court decisions. Do you think that that is constitutional? A lot of Muslim Americans see this as a problem and as a violation of their religious freedom. Do you think that that is a religious freedom to be judged by U.S. courts in your own religious law? And also, there was a court, maybe multiple, I don't know, that had been shut down by the U.S. government, private courts, practicing Sharia law and judging how Sharia law or Islamic law saw fit. Do you think that that is unconstitutional since it was a private court? And if not, when would it be considered constitutional at that point?
That was not a softball question. So what I would say about that is that as long as those courts don't violate someone's individual rights or someone's rights given to them by the Constitution, then it's perfectly fine. It's kind of like, to me, like the Catholic Church with their confessionals is a small kind of court where you go in, you tell what your crime was, you get your punishment. But it's okay under U.S. law because he's not, the father is not violating any of your rights whatsoever. And as long as that's the case, if they're like, oh, you're an adulteress, so we're going to beat you, well, that violates her rights, and that's also covered under cruel and unusual punishment. So that makes it illegal, and therefore I just don't think it's...
And I want to get into something about the first half of the question. No, there is no right to have the United States court rule on your religious questions.
No.
And yeah, I'm with you on the fact that, yeah, if it's two individuals agreeing to a private court to solve something like, does this person owe this much money to that person? As long as both parties agreed ahead of time to use this particular court and solve it that way, that's fine. Hands cutting off, no, not so much.
So there you go. That's a really great question. That was probably the best one we've had so far. So,
and I could go on for like 7 or 8 minutes on this one, but you know what?
Before we recorded this, we actually had like an hour-long conversation. about this. So our answers were pretty much covered already. We knew what we were going to say.
This is the Reader's Digest version just to keep the video a reasonable length. And, well, we'll PM about it, Jess. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and we're rambling on now. So maybe we should end the video. So, bye.
Night-night.